We have just 3 more races to go here this season, and we are down to the middle race of the round of 10 here in the Circle B Diecast Superspeedway spring season. Good evening, everybody. My name is Frank Marchese. Thank you very much for joining us. My broadcast partner, Byron Rodney, should be joining me here fairly soon as we get set to go for what is expected to be another incredible night of racing here at Daytona with the Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series. 19 drivers on the grid here tonight, expected to be on the grid for tonight's race as we get set to find out who is going to be one step closer to moving on to the next round of this Superspeedway season, as we are down to the final minute or so of this practice session. As we're just trying to look for something here as we get into as we move into the final moments of practice. Pardon me. Again, Connor Trafari, the one driver that has locked himself in by virtue of a win last week, and Connor is here tonight in the 48. Not currently out on track, but he is here tonight, and again with the win last week, locking himself into the championship finale in 2 weeks' time right here at Daytona. One guy who is certainly going to be looking for a good run here tonight is the man in the number 6, that is Chris Worrell. He was the only driver of the playoff contenders that did not show up here to the race last week, so he has put himself right behind the 8 ball and needs a good run here tonight at Daytona, and another one next week at Talladega. As we get set, as qualifying is set to begin, there is Dustin Logston out onto the racing surface to begin his qualifying effort. Connor Trafari's is Sean Dura, Joe Gauthier, and Nick Kessler also out on the racetrack. There is the 10 of Zashawn Dura. And Dura right now the furthest along on his outlap. Again, only 5 drivers on track right now. We're seeing 20 in the session currently. Let's take a look at Zishan's number 10 making his way out of turn number 4 to begin his first flying lap. As Dura becomes the first one to cross the line, there is last week's winner, Connor Trafari, who will certainly be looking to help one of his Golden State Racing teammates to jump into the next round of the playoffs. Elijah Innes now on track with the rest of the group, as here is Dura, naturally fastest of all through the first half of the lap. Trafari now clips him of that. Dustin Logston in the number 2. There he is. Solid run so far for Logston, running right on that inside. Dura will be the first one to cross the line, and the benchmark time, at least for the moment, is going to be put in by Dura to 52 flat. Cut that to Trafari's 51.97. So Connor Trafari done with his first lap. Nick Kessler done with his qualifying effort, and he jumps up to the point with a jumps up into second, with a 51.99. Here's Elijah Innes in the number 68. And Innes will cross the line in P6, slowest of the drivers that have taken time. Mark McFadden on the racetrack in the newly minted number 5. Also on track, newcomer to the series, Brian Turnowski will be piloting the number 66 for the final 3 races of this season. As Turnowski is on his flying lap now, seeing what sort of benchmark time he can put up in this qualifying session. Kessler and Innes are done with their qualifying efforts. It's just Turnowski and McFadden on track. Both of those drivers will get their laps in, and nothing more beyond that. There's only 1:30 left in the session. Turnowski coming out of turn number 4 and down to the start-finish line. Turnowski will go 7th quickest, as we will now see what kind of time Mark McFadden can put down. And McFadden, 51.968 to beat, and he jumps up into 3rd position at a 52 dead. So not a bad time at all for Mark McFadden, as we now have the final minute of this qualifying session left to kill here. So only 8 of the 20 competitors here in tonight's race deciding to take qualifying. As just waiting for the final 20 seconds or so here of this session to run down. Just looking here for now again, this will be race number 2 of this round of 10. Race number 3 will be next week at Talladega in these trucks. As the field gets set to grid up, let's take a look at the starting lineup here for tonight's race. And on the pole, it'll be last week's winner and the only man that is locked in to the next race. Connor Trafari takes the pole from Nick Kessler by 2/100ths of a second. That is row 1. Row 2 goes to Mark McFadden and Dustin Logston. Zishan Dura and Joe Gautier will make up row 3. Elijah Innes and Brian Turnowski will make up row number 4, and the final 2 qualifiers for the race here tonight. Drivers that did not set a qualifying time will be set by iRating. Marcus Adams and Chris Worrell will make up row number 5. Row 6 goes to Shane Posey and Brandon Wilson. Row 7 will see Dan Brazington and Greg McConey. Zach Bowerman and Michael Overstreet will make up row 8. Ryan Worley, Jason Papp in row number 9, with John LeBombard starting 19th and last on the grid here for tonight's race. As getting set to roll off of pit lane, only Brandon Wilson and Chris Worrell have not gotten onto the grid at this point. See that big gap there on the outside line? That's where those two would be starting. And we're just waiting on Wilson. We got about 15 more seconds before Wilson will be starting from pit lane. As a fun night of racing awaits us here at Daytona. If you did not see the USRA Truck Series race last night, also a brand new damage model to these full fendered stock cars will be on display here tonight, as Brandon Wilson will be getting that pit road start as we roll off the grid here, as we get set to begin tonight's third to last race, round number 18 of the season here for the Circle B Diecast Superspeedway season. We'll take a look at the weather here. Weather conditions not all that. I'm surprised. I forgot. I meant to change that back to Fahrenheit. For those of you who know how to do the math, there you go. Looks. If I were to guess, that has to be mid-60s. If I just do the quick maths on that. As the field works its way down the back straightaway, Connor Trafari and Nick Kessler on that front row. And again, Trafari racing for nothing here tonight. He is the only driver that is locked in. A far cry from where he was this time last round is Greg McConey, who will be starting from stone dead last in that number 12. Remember, McConey won the first 2 races of the last round. A fun night of racing ahead, as we will see if we can lock in another driver for the next round in the championship. Pace car ducks on off. Trafari has control of the field. Green flag is in the air. 75 laps here at Daytona. We're green. Big blank on that inside line. That is Elijah Innes in the 68, who's been having those problems here for the last couple of weeks. And this is a lot better a start than last week's race, as we see Marcus Adams in the 31 for Balls Out Racing. Hit the grass as he tries to just go to the back of the line. He's going to end up going through the grass here in turn 3. And Adams will get the car back on track, but not the start that Marcus Adams was looking for. Again, just trying to get to the back of the line, get himself out of the pack, and unfortunately for him, ends up making a mistake and clipping the grass. As this battle for the lead has not thinned out whatsoever. We're side by side, about 6 or 7 rows deep. And a line in the back, that car way out wide. That's the 93 of Michael Overstreet. As Greg McConey now, I think, is looking to fall to the back of the line. There is Marcus Adams, and he is now picking up Brandon Wilson in the 501. Wilson with the pit start, so at least the 31 of Adams is not alone. Trafari will lead this lap here. Trafari and Kessler in the first 2 rows, and we're going to look for Nick Kessler here to start to fall back. This is typically what Kessler will do. He will jump up, lead a lap or 2, and then fall to the back. But right now he's stuck on that outside line. That's the 2 of Dustin Logston that's behind him. And then just beyond that is the 67 truck. That is Joe Gautier, who we ride on board with. Gautier out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Running that 3rd car on the outside lane, that Grizzly Chevrolet Silverado. To the back with series newcomer Brian Tarnowski behind him. In the number 66 as we work lap number 4 here, Trafari still out in front, leading that inside line. Nick Kessler there, the 5 of Mark McFadden. Also pushing is Deshaun Dura in the 10. Drops out of line. There's McFadden in the 5, leaning on that back bumper of the 48 as they head down into turn number 3. McFadden touching the apron just a little bit. McFadden able to not really move the truck too far out of line. Shane Posey in this battle as well in that neon green number 83, 3rd car on the inside lane. As the trucks flash on by here, working lap 5. Is very close to contact there between the 5 of McFadden and the 4 of Kessler, as Trifari will drop out of line now. And he will jump back in line. He'll be behind Elijah Innes. And I think part of the reason why that was as close as it was is because Innes might have blinked out there. Trifari may have thought he was clear when in actuality he wasn't, as McFadden now takes over the race lead. Shane Posey jumps up to the outside. Shane Posey will lead the lap. Chris Worrell up in this mix now. And again, after missing last week, Worrell needs to be up in the mix all race long to try to get as many points as he possibly can to recover from not making the race last week. Nick Kessler in the 4, pushing Shane Posey on the outside lane. Trying to get that outside to work. Dustin Logston also up there in that outside lane as well. Third car on the inside lane, the number 1 of Jason Papp. See how much these trucks are moving around here in the early stages of this race. Right on board with Papp there momentarily. Not too much, and we had seen last week how impressive the Dudes Racing cars were. The 12, the 1, the 501, and the 00. Only the 1 of Papp, who to be fair is the only one racing just for pride at this point. All of the other Dudes Racing cars outside of the top 12. Ryan Worley, the next closest one, up in the 12th position. In the 501 of Brandon Wilson having that pit start. Greg McConey's been at the back of this field the entire race. So he's using the John LeBombard strategy, and when you know it, LeBombard's right in front of him. Still up here at the front, McFadden and Shane Posey battling for the race lead. Chris Worrell and Nick Kessler in the pushing lane, or in the pushing row rather. Worrell on the inside, Kessler on the outside. See this group of 6 trucks here, very, very tight on each other. Elijah Innes also in this group in that 86 Petronas Chevrolet. Joe Gauthier, the last truck on the outside. And that's Brian Tarnowski is the last truck in this lead group, and then there's a little bit of a gap, and that's where you'll find Connor Trifari. As all around they go! Already up here at the front, there's Mark McFadden around. The 6 of Chris Worrell in trouble, Shane Posey. I was looking over at timing and scoring, but I would have to assume that's a bad push from somewhere that has caused that, as Nick Kessler's the first one to get through it. And we'll take a look and see what happens here. Coming through turn 3. Boy, maybe Shane Posey might have come down. See the new damage model at work there on the 6, unfortunately, of Chris Worrell. The 00 of Ryan Worley involved. 66 of Tarnowski involved. I'll try to see exactly what happens here as they head into turn 3. No, the 5 of McFadden jumps up, slides up the racetrack. Gets into both the 4 and the 83, so that one's on the inside line. As unfortunate as it is to say, let's take a look at this from Zach Bowerman's point of view. There's the wreck happening in front. Bowerman immediately locks it down and gets hit in the rear hard by that was Ryan Worley. You see what Worley saw in that. Worley, he was slow. Wow, Worley got hit. That possibly have been Michael Overstreet. Let's take a look off the back of Ryan Worley's 00. It's the 29 of Dan Brazington. It's the one that gets into the back of the 00. And that will bring out caution number 1 here tonight as pit stops in full swing. Drivers repairing damage, taking fast repairs. There goes the 4 of Kessler. 48 of Trifari, the 10 of Dura. Everybody else pretty much fixing crash damage of some description. There goes McConey. Dan Brazington, that was the caution that Brandon Wilson needed. That was also the caution that the 31 of Marcus Adams needed, as those two were well off the pace of everybody else. And there's the 6 of Ryan Worley. We had mentioned before the new damage model on these full fender stock cars. There's the side, there's the front, and there's the back. So at least as far as driver cooling is concerned, I don't think Worrell is going to have too much of a problem here the remainder of this race. So we are under caution here for the first time tonight. About to begin lap number 12 of 75 here from Daytona. And we would like to remind you that coming up here on ESPN, coming up on Sunday night will be the Medieval Racing League. They will be at Kansas Speedway at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Round number 8 of their season getting set to kick off. The Rowdy Energy Cup Series will have their All-Star race at Texas coming up on Monday. Then on Tuesday will be the Pony Express Sim Racing's Endurance for Amateurs Series, their season finale at Watkins Glen. Now this season finale was scheduled for last Wednesday. However, because the 2021 Season 3 update came out on Wednesday, they decided discretion was the better part of valor and decided to push the season finale back a week. So it'll be the season finale at Watkins Glen coming up this Wednesday night at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on Thursday night will be the TNT Truck Series presented by the United Sim Racing Association. Round 3 at the Milwaukee Mile here next week. And then naturally it'll be the final race of the round of 10 here before the championship is on the line. So the next time this series heads to Daytona, we will be running for a championship. Pace truck is off. Green flag is back in the air. Connor Trifari and Nick Kessler, just as they did at the start, will lead them down again here, only this time flip reversed order. And again, if you're wondering who is in championship contention, the drivers on the top of your screen that are highlighted in gold are in championship contention. Boy, Nick Kessler and Zishan Dura having a little bit of a shoving match there in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Moving Kessler up to the outside. And Zishan Dura now leading this race on the inside with Brandon Wilson and Marcus Adams pushing. Got a lot of damaged trucks on this racetrack right now, and it is very, very early in the going here at Daytona. See a little bit of left front damage. We're going to jump on board the 4 of Nick Kessler, and you can see just that little crinkle in the left front. Doesn't appear to be affecting him all that much, but that damage is there for that number 4. Very few trucks out here without any damage after that first big incident. Looking 3 wide in the middle of the pack now, and around they go again. Jason Papp in the wall. Connor Trafari hard into the wall. I believe it was also Dan Brazington. It was. And there is caution number 2. Well, they started to really get bunched up down the back straightaway. And something happened in the middle of the field that really sent everyone for a ride. We'll try to jump overhead and see what it was. Boy, that was Brazington trying to get out of the outside line as Trafari and Kessler were trying to fall to the back. Brazington was trying to take that run that he had. Jump on board with Brazington. He's trying to take the run that he had, makes it 4 wide, and I'm not sure if Papp knew he was 4 wide. I mean, that's about as unfortunate as it gets right there. And you can see that big move there by Brazington. And again, that's because the 48 and the 4 are trying to go to the back, as they typically do in these races. And I mean, the good news for Connor Trafari at this point is there's really no harm or foul to anything that's happened here. Being locked in. So we have some takers to pit road, and I think Connor Trafari is just going to park it here. So he goes flying down pit road, clear. An evident penalty for speeding. I wouldn't be surprised if he just decides to park that number 48. I guess what used to be a Toyota Tundra. Drivers that are coming in taking fuel only for the most part. Zishan Dura, I believe, is the current leader of this race. Marcus Adams down on the apron there in the number 31, and already we have a laundry list of damaged trucks here, and we aren't even 20 laps in. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a quick break. We are going to try to take order as far as who is damaged and who is not. And we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching the Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series right here on ESPN. Don't go anywhere. We are back here at the Daytona International Speedway, round number 18, race number 2 in the round of 10 for the Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series Spring Playoffs. As we get set to go back to green, and from my count, it's only 3 trucks in this field that started at 19 that have absolutely no damage on their truck in any way, shape, or form as we go back to green flag here on lap 18 of this 75-lap event. One of the 3 clean trucks right now, Brandon Wilson, takes over the race lead. He has Zishan Dura right behind him. Truck number 2 of the 3 is the 31 of Marcus Adams. He jumps up to the outside to try to give Dura a push, and does very successfully, as the 31 trying to lead his first laps of the night. The third of 3 with no damage is the 12 of Greg McConey. And you might think, well, John LeBombard doesn't look like he has damage. Well, there's the right side of that number 95. So of the 19 drivers that have started tonight, only 3 are currently running with no damage on their trucks in any capacity. As now this field will line up single file here. It is Zishan Dura, Marcus Adams, Michael Overstreet, Nick Kessler, and Brandon Wilson in this front group. Elijah Innish, Joe Gauthier, and Dustin Logston round out the entirety of the front pack. Second pack of John LeBombard and Greg McConey are just trailing off this lead field. And then you have the damaged trucks. There is Mark McFadden. There is Brian Turnowski. Right behind him, those drivers not on the lead lap. Well, actually, I take that back. McFadden is on the lead lap. Turnowski is 2 laps down. Zach Bowerman 3 laps down in the number 9. Connor Trafari done for the night. Jason Papp done for the night. Chris Worrell done for the night. Dan Brazington, Ryan Worley in pit road right now getting repairs. And Shane Posey all done for the evening. As back up to the race lead, I'm not expecting that we're going to be seeing too much racing action here, as the top 10 trucks here in this field able to keep pace. Out pokes Nick Kessler in the 4. Kessler's been right in the middle of both of the big wrecks that have happened here tonight and has come out with very, very minimal damage with those incidents. As, boy, that's Greg McConey in the back there. Really wild. And for Greg, this is a very interesting race tonight here for Greg, because he was not anticipating being here tonight. His wife about to welcome their first child in. And again, Greg was not expecting to be here tonight, so I think he's playing it safe and running in the back just in case he has to take a quick leave. It was up at the front, Nick Kessler being pushed by Elijah Innes in the 68. Trying to take that race lead. It has been all Golden State Racing thus far. Whether it be the pole sitter Connor Trafari, Nick Kessler's been up here all race long, Zishan Dura, and now Elijah Innes. So what we saw Dudes Racing do last week at Talladega, we're seeing Golden State Racing do here this week, in a very dominating performance from the 10, 4, 68, and the 48 here tonight. At least in the early going, the first 23 laps of this event. It's the damaged number 93 of Michael Overstreet currently running in the 5th position, 3rd car on the inside lane. And with that amount of front-end damage on Overstreet's machine, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to lead a line. He is going to be very, very comfortable, I would have to assume, sitting in the middle of a pack here tonight if he wants to come away with a decent finish. Brandon Wilson in the 501 now moves that 3rd car on the inside lane. Michael Overstreet trailing that outside group. Joe Gautier in this as well. Dustin Logston, John LeBombard, and Greg McConey. And a lot of moving around here up in this front pack. Not just for position, but these trucks on their own moving around quite a bit. As we'll ride on board and take a look inside and see Brandon Wilson and how much he's having to work that steering wheel just to keep the car where it is. It has been a very wild ride for these drivers here tonight. There's Wilson now. They're about to catch up to, that is Zach Bowerman in the number 9. Starting to see Joe Gautier, Dustin Logston, John LeBombard, Greg McConey start to fall off of this pack. Mark McFadden and Brian Tarnowski, there they are. That's 11th and 12th right there. McFadden on the lead lap, Tarnowski 2 down to the race lead in the 66, pardon me. As Nick Kessler leads this lap as we've hit a third of the distance here at Daytona. Race running pretty much as you would expect after 2 wrecks here at the beginning of this race have taken out a good portion of the field. Again, if you're looking up at the top, the drivers that are highlighted in gold are drivers that are championship eligible. And if I remember correctly, if I've counted correctly, I believe all of them are here tonight. Not all of them are running right now, but all of them are here tonight. DNFs here tonight. Shane Posey, Ryan Worley done for the night. Dan Brazington, Chris Worrell, championship hopeful. Jason Papp, Connor Trafari has already locked himself in. He is still sitting in pit road as the 48 of Trafari. So he is not officially done, but he is done as far as a chance to win this race here tonight. But again, for him, it doesn't really matter with him winning last week. Zach Bowerman still plugging away. So of the 19 drivers, only 13 still running, and about 10 of them are competitive. And there are the 10. So Sean Dura holding that lead with Marcus Adams riding in tow in that number 31. Brandon Wilson, and who had the virtue of dumb luck here tonight. That big wreck that happened up at the front, Wilson found himself very lucky to have taken a pit start here tonight. Marcus Adams also by virtue of dumb luck. We saw him at the beginning of the race trying to fall to the back, ended up clipping the grass on the back straightaway, going through the grass and completely falling out of the pack, ended up picking up Brandon Wilson. And by virtue of that, they missed the big wreck on lap 6. Not too much action going on up here at the front with these guys. Dura still holding this race lead. Nick Kessler still leading that outside lane. Surprised that Kessler, we're used to seeing Kessler fall to the back here in these races. And it was that strategy that kind of triggered that second incident with him and Trifari both trying to just fall to the back of the line. As I believe Kessler able to lead that lap. Greg McConey on that outside, now turning it on, just put out the fastest lap of the race in that number 12. Only driver to dip into the 47-second bracket as he gets around John LeBombard for the 9th position. As down the back straightaway they come, and I think what we'll do now is we'll take a quick second and we will crank it up here for the Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series. Some great onboard shots that we have had, not just in this season, but all year long with all of our different series. Able to bring you a couple of laps of pure and raw horsepower here as we work lap number 33 of 75 here for the Circle B Diecast Superspeedway season. Sean Dura still out in front as this line has gotten single file here. Greg McConey now has fallen off the back of this group. John LeBombard the same. LeBombard has been a little bit more dramatic, however, as LeBombard now 7.5 seconds off the lead pack. McConey only about a second. And again, with McConey on baby watch here tonight. Told me earlier on in the week that he wasn't even expecting to be here tonight. So the fact that he is here honestly surprised the heck out of me. Just trying to get as many points as he possibly can here to minimize the damage if he does so happen to miss next week. And this for the first time in quite some time. McConey coming into this race not leading the point standings. Connor Trifari leads the point standings by 1 at the present moment. or at least coming into this race. McConey will definitely have the points lead coming out of this race, the overall points lead. As Deshaun Dura leads this race, looking for the win that would lock him into the next round. Brandon Wilson looking to do the same. Joe Gautier in the championship hunt. Greg McConey, John LeBombard, both. Well, all looking for that win that can lock them in to the next round of the championship. Mark McFadden, a part of the first big one that we had here back on lap 8, with a lot of the drivers that you see out of the race right now. Zach Bowerman, Connor Trafari, as drivers heading down to pit road, and man, Marcus Adams got really out of shape on the transition off of the racing surface as green flag pit stops have begun here at Daytona. Nick Kessler on his way into pit road. There he goes into the box, and that will leave Joe Gautier and Dustin Logston leading this race. Greg McConey about 7 seconds back off of these two. As Gautier and Logston would have to assume they're going to be coming in this time, and yes, here they come. 67-2 in. McConey will stay out, and this will be a strategy ploy to get a lap lead for him as Nick Kessler leads the second group back. And what we'll do right now really quick is we're going to take a quick break. We have some audio issues that I'm realizing that we're going to have to work on here. We'll be right back right after this as green flag pit stop cycling through here at Daytona.
I know. Look at me with the big brain moment fixing my GPU. It's great, isn't it? Uh-huh. Yeah, I've seen Marcus Overstreet in previous leagues before, and he's very capable on both road and oval. Good to see him out here again tonight and running well. But we're just coming back from a commercial break, and if you're only seeing 7 trucks on the track, the reason why we've had 2 big ones in the space of what, 20 laps, 30 laps? Yeah. Yeah. That's very actually, that's a unscheduled pit stop. He's literally flying through pit road for some reason. Very much so, but talking about Golden State Racing, they're very capable of winning races. We've seen that in previous races in the past, and they're going about it the right way again here tonight. It's a Shandura. Good to see him at the front again. He's had some pretty bad luck these past few weeks. Yeah, unfortunately for Marcus Adams, he's always had a good run when he's been here, but unfortunately coming to a premature end here tonight. Still lots of racing left to go, not many trucks left on the track, but still, always, as always, these guys putting on one heck of a show. Absolutely, and they're all lockstep right now. Not really anybody making big moves. You see Brandon Wilson right there, just really putting Kessler and Dura under pressure. Right behind him, Overstreet with damage on his truck. I'm wondering if he's trying to lay back just slightly, just to keep the temps down on the engine with that damage he has. Absolutely, and I've just seen the state of Conor Jafari's truck. He's got bits missing all over the place, and yeah, that damage model really is something, isn't it? That's actually Greg McConey they're coming up on. Yeah, and if he stays out of trouble, I'm pretty sure he will. As we've got one up on the second lane right now. That's can't quite see. Yeah, Elijah Ennis starting to make a progress forward again. But yeah, a top 10 for McConey will put him in good stead for the next race. And if he stays out of trouble, which he is doing right now, he should make it home nice and easily. Yeah, and they're coming up in the absolute destruction that is Conor Jafari's truck, and I wonder if he's got the pace in that thing to help out his teammates who are still leading this thing as they come out of turn 4 right now. Jafari stayed in pit road for quite a while, and he was just taking a breather, having a rest, waiting for his truck to repair. And he said he had some good pizza while he was down there on pit road and having a rest. And he's nice and refreshed and back out there as well. Pick up what he can while he's still in the playoffs. Absolutely, and yeah, with only 21 laps to go, he's a bit too far behind. But I've noticed Greg McConey, he's actually sticking with this lead pack in that background right there. So he's using that good speed to keep going and keep the speed in that truck. And that's probably where the fastest laps are coming from. Just sitting back there and keeping on that draft and just doing what he can. Yeah, always good to see John LaBombard going on those long runs, although I don't think he started at the back this time from what I can gather, as McConey is actually caught up to the back of the lead pack now, is right on the back of, I believe that's Elijah Innes. It is Elijah Innes, as we were just talking about him. Jason Papp is now back out of pit road. What's left of it? Yeah, it's unsettling to see how damaged those trucks can get now, but good to see the top three still keeping it clean out there. Brandon Wilson, the only representative of Dudes Racing, up in that top five right now, the only representative that's still on the lead lap. Keeping the two Golden State, I was going to say Golden State Warriors, but I might get copyrighted for that one, but Golden State races, keeping them too honest, and that the top three have actually pulled away from Overstreet and Elijah Innes, so we could have a three-way battle to the checkered flag here. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but still got a good pusher behind him in Nick Kessler, and Kessler still, I believe, searching for his first race win of the season. I don't think has won a race yet this season as well. Neither has Brandon Wilson, so all three of these drivers searching for the first race wins of the season. Yeah. Yeah, so those two are going to fall away from the draft now, and that is going to be it for their race challenge as things stand right now with 16 laps to go and no sign of a caution anytime soon. I don't see this top five bunching up anymore. It's going to be between Dura, Kessler and Wilson, and we're going to see who's going to take the checker flag once this is all said and done between those three. It's almost like you knew it was about to happen. Wait, I'm watching it live, so how's that go? But wait, I've just come back. Stop confusing me. Yeah, and that was a pit stop. Well, that was a good pit stop that Elijah Innes needed. Obviously, he doesn't have the damage, the clean car underneath him to lead out in front, but already losing ground on Brandon Wilson, but still managing to keep with these three. Unfortunately, Overstreet pretty much out of it now. That it is, and I'm looking at my yeah. He's not been in pit road yet. As McConey, Logston, and Gauthier and La Bombard behind him have been in pit road. So McConey is looking. He's not going to get out ahead of Logston, Gauthier, and La Bombard, but he's going to try his best, and he's got. I believe that's John La Bombard right in front of him right now, and he's actually going around him.
And now with my flippin' mic actually turned on, we welcome you back here for the final 7 laps of this event. And boy, this is a night that's going to go down. I will tell you that. It is a night that will be remembered for the Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series. All but 3 cars almost nearly totaled in the first 15 laps, and the numerous broadcast issues we've had tonight. It's been a wild one here tonight at Daytona.
It's the one, for many reasons. As I'm having a few sound issues. Just carry on then, Frank.
Yeah, it's all right. It can't be any worse than leaving your mic off for a full segment. So there you go. As it's Dura, Kessler, and Wilson up here at the front of this field. It is going to be one of these three drivers that will be taking home the checkered flag here tonight. Elijah Innes has fallen to 9 seconds off of this group. Michael Overstreet, thanks to his long pit stop, about 8 or 9 seconds longer than the rest of the field, has fallen out of this lead group as well, as really only these positions are up for grabs here, the 3 that you're seeing on screen right now. And this little battle here between the 67 of Joe Gauthier and the 2 of Dustin Logston, this is for the 6th position between the 67 and the 2. And with the damage on the 67, I think he's going to be more than content to just sit there and ride behind Logston in the 2 for the remainder of these last 5 laps here. As Dura, Kessler, and Wilson continue to just run line astern here. And this is one where if I'm Brandon Wilson, it's almost a lost cause to try to go for the race win here with the 2 teammates in front. Only one of the 2 is going for a playoff spot. The other one is trying to do what he can to secure his teammate to get into the championship round in 2 weeks. You got to consider this is a very good points night for Brandon Wilson. This might be one where the order which you see here is the order that we're going to see come the end of this race, and not really much changing. As these 2 have been in lockstep really since before the pit stops on lap 36, and we're working lap 72 right now. Kessler has had multiple opportunities to get around the 10 of Dura if he wanted to. And we know Brandon Wilson does like to run that outside line if and when he gets the chance to. And Wilson has not gone with them. Not that the 4 of Kessler has shown that he wants to go to the outside, but he certainly also he would have a drafting partner with him in Brandon Wilson if he decided to go. The 93 of Overstreet about to be lapped. So now only the top 4 remain on the lead lap. And there's Jason Papp as well, holding station with the number 93. Papp locked into the 15th position. Connor Trafari locked into the 14th position. Marcus Adams out of this race. So, and there is Connor Trafari just trying to log as many laps as he possibly can, as this could be a little bit interesting here, as that is Bowerman, Tarnowski, and McFadden letting the leaders go by. Just 2 more circulations of this racetrack to go here tonight, as it is Dura, Kessler, and Wilson. One of these 3 will take home the checkered flag here tonight, unless something absolutely unforeseen happens here in the last 2.5 miles. White flag is in the air here at Daytona. Zishan Dura, Nick Kessler, Brandon Wilson. Who is it going to be coming to the start-finish line through 1 and 2? They go. Nick Kessler showing absolutely no signs of moving out from behind that 10. Brandon Wilson could try to make it interesting with a slingshot move on the 4 coming out of turn number 3. But other than that, it looks to be what we expected. The top 3 will stay in order. No move coming from Nick Kessler. And the man who finished second last week is the winner here tonight. Zishan Dura wins round number 18 here at Daytona and locks himself in to the championship round in 2 weeks' time, right back here at Daytona. And for Dura, I actually believe it's his second victory of the season, if I can go back and look at it here. Just really quick. As Nick Kessler played the teammate position, the teammate spot perfectly. Oh no, and I was wrong. This is Dura's first win of the season. And Golden State Racing has taken the first 2 rounds of the first 2 races of the round of 10 here this season. As we will wait for these drivers to come down here for interviews, and we will start the process now with our race winner here tonight, Zishan Dura. Zishan pretty much had it in the bag after quite a while. Teammate behind you, no one else really competitive. You've locked yourself into the next round. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. That was an interesting race. Definitely wanted a bigger field size and more passing for the lead and stuff like that, but I still enjoyed it. And huge shout out to Nick. I mean, he is the best teammate. You couldn't ask for more. And everyone did a great job, and we finally put one together for me this season, which has been a real struggle all year. So glad we could finally get it done, but without Nick, that would not have been possible at all. So this is all him.
And you've had a very good run here in the playoffs thus far. You finished second place last week. You get the win here this week. There's a lot of confidence going into Talladega here, staying in the trucks next week. What is your mindset going into the race, knowing that you're already locked into the championship round?
Well, Connor and I are the only 2 of us in the playoffs. We want to help Zach as much as we can to get that win. And getting Zach a win is our prerogative, but whatever happens, happens. If he can't win, then hopefully one of us does. Hopefully Nick can, also get it. I don't know. I want everyone to win every week, so it's hard.
Anybody you want to thank here after a wild night here at Daytona?
Yeah, of course. You guys for doing a great job with the broadcast. I know these small field sizes are tough for you guys. I mean, not much action for plate race, but you guys always make it interesting. Circle B Diecast for sponsoring the league. Rowdy Energy, Butt Kicker, Iris and I Flag, Midwest Motor Customs, Jason Papp, Lot 9 Brewing Co., Harpoon Design, Taz Racing Customs, and all my wonderful teammates, especially Nick.
All right, there is your race winner here tonight, Zishan Dura. Zishan, congratulations, bud.
Thank you, Frank.
So that is Zishan Dura. That is Zishan Dura there for the race win. Nick Kessler finishing second here tonight. Nick, not racing for a run in the championship. You just joined your brand new team at Golden State Racing, and you warmed yourself up, I think, about as well as you possibly could have here tonight.
Yeah, it was a crazy race out here. We had a couple rough start to this race, but after we got everything situated, it was awesome from there. Brandon did a great job. Eli, everyone out here did an amazing job. Yeah.
And talk us through, because you were right in the middle of both incidents. You just happened to be a little bit in front of where the incident took place. We were talking all throughout the broadcast that you're usually a guy that'll go up there, lead a lap, and then fall to the back. What made that strategy a little bit different here tonight, obviously before the wrecks?
What made that strategy different is me and my team came into this race knowing that to advance 2 drivers to the Final Four, we had to get Z that win. And the first wreck, I don't really know what happened. I'd have to go back to the replay and watch. But the second wreck, as a matter of fact, all started because me and the 48 were dropping to the back all the way on the wall. And I guess the rest of the pack didn't realize that or something, and that's what caused that second wreck.
We head into Talladega next week. Zashawn said now the focus is not getting him the win, it's getting Bowerman the win. What is your focus going into Talladega next week?
Definitely getting Borman the win, but if I can win a race before season ends, that's definitely the goal. As a matter of fact, on the Superspeedway series, the championship race will be my final one in the Superspeedway race league, I mean. So, obviously, I want to try getting a win before it's over.
Yeah, would certainly hope to see that win. You've been such a fixture here over these last 2 seasons that we've broadcasted. Anyone you want to thank here before we let you go tonight?
Circle B, Diecast, Rowdy Energy, Butt Kicker, iRacing, iFlag, Midwest Motor Custom, JD Motorsports with Gary Keller, Taz Racing Customs, and everyone at GSR, Jason, Greg, Brandon, everyone in this league. You guys for broadcasting this has just been an amazing couple years.
All right, there is your second place finisher here tonight, Nick Kessler. Bud, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so that was Nick Kessler, and we will now get our third place finisher in here tonight. That would be Brandon Wilson. Brandon, one of only 2 drivers to finish without any damage on the race car here tonight, and you come home in third. Good showing for you, and a nice position to find yourself in heading into the final race of the round.
Oh yeah, it's been a heck of a night, man. I started out with tech issues and had to start from the pits, and that wasn't that great. But Marcus was helping me back there and pushing me, and we got that first caution, and they put me right back where I needed to be. But yeah, it was just crazy tonight.
It absolutely was. Now, you were more involved in the second incident than the first one. What did you see from your point of view in the second incident?
Well, when Sean went down at the bottom, is that what you're talking about? Because that one about gave me a heart attack.
Oh, well, then go for that one too.
Yeah, I was like, oh, please hold it down there. Please hold it down there. And I went as high as I could. I thought I was going to hit the wall, but I just, hoping that wouldn't happen. But, yeah, the second one was just pretty crazy. I wasn't really – I don't really remember it, man, to be honest. Cause
it was the one that took Trafari out.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was pretty interesting because that one also was about to he got turned down in front of me. So that was pretty interesting. But the one with Zishan probably the closest I want to be. The other one was pretty crazy, but one with Zishan was pretty nuts.
Going into the last race of the round, we know Greg is pretty well set. He should be the points leader coming out of tonight. You with a very good run here tonight. should be set. Jason and Ryan are not in playoff contention. What is your mindset going into Talladega next week?
We're gonna still try to run together. Hopefully, none of us get caught up in any incidents. But we're gonna still do the same thing. Try to run together, pit together. I may play it pretty conservative right at the beginning, being at Talladega, and just be there for the end. And hopefully, some of my teammates are.
All right. Anybody you want to thank before we let you go tonight?
Circle B Diecast, Rowdy Energy, Butt Kicker, iRace and iFlag, Midwest Motor Customs, and of course you guys as well.
All right, there is your third place finisher here tonight, Brandon Wilson. Bud, congratulations.
Thanks, man.
All right, so that will wrap up the interview portion here for the broadcast tonight. And Sam, I know you came in a little bit after the fun all happened, but still a solid race here tonight for what we had remaining. But next week at Talladega, with the final race of the round and the penultimate race of the season, it is going to be a wild night at Talladega next week.
You think I missed all the action, but I actually saw it because I was testing out my graphics. I was testing out my graphics card, but I did see what happened, and yeah, heartbreak for a lot of drivers, especially Jason. I mean, he's been trying so hard all season, and for that to happen to him is just unfortunate. But I know he'll pick it up next week. I know he'll be ready and raring to go at Talladega, and hoping to try at least to push his way into that final race in 2 weeks' time. But for everybody else, it's going to be it's one more chance, and then well, as I like to call it, last chance saloon, and then it's off to the finale.
Yep, absolutely. And with that, we will go to with that, it is off to the results, as we've just heard from Zishan Dura picking up his first race win of the season. Nick Kessler comes home in second. Nick Kessler, again, also just breaking the news that he will be done in the Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series after these next two races. So he's certainly going to be looking to end his Circle B Diecast Superspeedway Series career on a high. Brandon Wilson rounding out the podium. Elijah Innes and Michael Overstreet rounding out the top five. Elijah Innes rounding out the lead lap finishers here tonight. Dustin Logston and Joe Gautier finishing one lap down. The three of them, Greg McConey, John LeBombard, finishing 2 laps down in 8th and 9th. Mark McFadden finishing in the top 10 in 5th position. Brian Turnowski, on his debut here for the series, comes home in the 11th position. Zach Bowerman 12th. Marcus Adams 13th. Connor Trafari 14th. Jason Papp rounds out the top 15. Dan Brazington, Chris Worrell, Ryan Worley, and Shane Posey round out the remainder of the field here tonight. Coming up here on ESPN, starting this next week, well, ending this week and starting next, the Medieval Racing League will have round number 8 of their season. They will be at Kansas Speedway coming up at 8:15 p.m. on Sunday night. On Monday will be the Rowdy Energy Cup Series. There will be their All-Star race at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time. The Pony Express Sim Racing's Endurance for Amateurs season finale will be held on Wednesday night at Watkins Glen. Again, that finale pushed back after the Season 3 update for iRacing came out last Wednesday. They decided to push the race back a week. So the season finale will be this week instead of last week. And then on Thursday night will be the TNT Truck Series presented by United Sim Racing Association. They will have round number 3 of their season at the Milwaukee Mile. So for my, I guess I could say, broadcast partner, Sam Cooper Bennett, and for the rest of us here at ESPN, we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, and we will see you all next week for the final race in the round of 10 at Talladega, and on Sunday night for the Medieval Racing League at Kansas Speedway. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.